final question. At first, I want to thank you for your presentation. It was really inspiring for me. I have a question about the scientific community. You talked about it a bit now. In the last 5 years of my studies, we learned a lot of pluralism of ideas and how important it is to have different ideas and different opinions and think critically. And it would be interesting for me why it was so hard to have an opinion which wasn't congruent with the state measures, and how it was for you to have another opinion and stand up for it.
Interesting question. And I think that we had a clash between two schools of thought. And I have trained in both schools of thought, so my own experience was a bit schizoaffective because I was trying to serve both masters, in a sense. So on the one hand, you have science. And science stands for healthy skepticism, for questioning, for not agreeing without seeing the evidence, for asking for better evidence, for asking for transparency, for replication, for better designs, for experiments rather than just observations, for better models or no models, real data. And this is one training that scientists get or should get. Unfortunately, they don't get much of that, but that's a different question. Then you have the second school of thought, which is, or stance, which is public health. And public health has the stance that we have a crisis, we're like army, we're a platoon. So the platoon has to do this. You cannot say I'm a member of the platoon and I will go to the left and the rest of you, you go to the right. Who are you? You know, shoot him. You know, he left the platoon. Well, we're being attacked. Just shoot him. He is a deserter. So that's the way that I try to interpret it, that if you have a dominant narrative, anyone who leaves the platoon needs to be shot down. And I think that some people felt that it was their obligation to shoot down people who were free thinkers, in a sense. So science had to be shut down. Goodness, how do you deal with that? Shoot down science, not just the scientists, but everything that stands about going on the left side or the right side while the platoon is going on the left side. Don't think of political connotations here, right or left. So that's where the challenge was. And I saw many people who were scientists who I knew as very calm and seasoned and not emotional at all. Someone said that that was an emotional talk, just working with equations and numbers over their lives, suddenly forgetting all about equations, all about numbers, all about evidence, and just becoming wild animals to devour the enemy, you know, the enemy of the people, in a sense. Very, very difficult circumstances, and I think that hopefully science did survive the crisis with some major successes like vaccines. I hope we'll have no nasty surprises, and with learning a lot. But much of the suppression and the demise of the scientific method during this whole episode was really miserable. And I think that we need to wait until we are out of this event to really observe it with very calm eyes. Again, not to blame anyone, but just to see really what happened here. Why did we do this? Why did we abandon science? Was it worth it? Was that beneficial eventually? And I think the answer probably will be that we did some very horrible things in the process, but it's all a learning experience.